in the end, everything depends on the quality of appreciation. And then next, and so that's why in appreciation, we don't influence or control. And they're the very simple rules. You can do anything you want, tell stories, anything, then tell poems, build statues, do anything you want to help appreciate, but don't influence or don't control.
And in your experience, what do you do with people who have real trouble not jumping in, not arguing, not dominating? How do you help create that space?
It's really the rules of the process. If you set it, like you try to set it up, so it's almost impossible to do that. You know, so you've got 30 people and you ask them to speak. Well, you know, you've only got 30 minutes to do it, so they can only have 1 minute. So there isn't a chance for them to speak. So I don't want to say what's my ideal, and then the rule is no comment. And so as soon as the first person comes in, say no, we have to go around to everybody. But the other thing is with appreciation is because that's the hardest to do because we're not used to doing it. So if the facilitator really believes and knows and understands it, it's very easy for them without being tough and nasty of cutting people off or something like that, if he can control very appreciatively through the design of the process. And that's where the design of the process is important, that it really does enforce appreciation and not control. Like making sure there's silent listening, and you do it right away for the first one. And you structure it so it's hard to break through that.
Right.
You know, so you make it as difficult as you can for them. And then you also facilitate, as you've done, by making everybody equal, so that you don't have all the chiefs at one end or the police over there. And sometimes if they come arranged like that, you quickly arrange them into random groups. Like when they have to do the subgroup, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you've broken all of those subgroups up to make people equal. You know, how important this is to the people, and it's in their voices and in their faces. It's even though watching it, much more emotional than I expected it to be. You know, I mean.
So what we've just watched now is the next 2 stages of this,
right.
Moving from the local consultations to the provincial and the national level.
That's right.
And I guess I'd be interested to see what some of your reactions are to what you've seen with this part of the process.
Well, one of the reasons why AIC is designed this way is because I say all the principles are built in without having to explain it. So one of the things that by doing appreciation the way we do, it automatically excludes people who are not directly involved in fishing because they're affected by it, but they're not involved. So what that happens is it naturally leads to those people beginning to think, oh, I'm not in fisheries, but hey, you know, we've got connections with fisheries. And you could see as it went up to this level, you're really like beginning all over again at another level. You know, but now you've got all of these experience with a process, and you've got all of this emotion communicating to those people who weren't a direct part of it.
Right.
And you could see the whole level going up, and you can see people being affected by the emotion and the reality and the authenticity of what was going on. And especially when he said that local fisherman went up to the board and he was beginning to explain, and it's so authentic. You can see he's living his life as he's saying this, but you know, there aren't enough fisheries people to go around and explain, and then all the people from all the different perspectives are seeing that, and then they're beginning to think, oh yes, well, we need at our level to come and do the same thing, you know. And so what really struck me about this was the authenticity and the emotion that is added to the process as people really talking about their lives and matter them influence other people by their authenticity and their emotion. And so you get the head guy, beginning to start saying, well, look, I'm very open, and we can't do everything, but I'm certainly open to this. And then someone else saying, yeah, well, we've got to do that here with us, and get people to get together. So it's, in other words, it's the magic of that appreciative phase, because right from the beginning you start including people who are not just controllers. They have intent, so it just begins to spread and spread and spread. This process is not some academic thing I thought about, it's what I've discovered in nature, and this is ideally what people want. They want to have meaning to their lives, so they want to reach out beyond themselves, beyond their mutual interest, to make a contribution to their country or their village or something beyond themselves. And when you get a process that does that, it just spreads and spreads and spreads. So